Hey there, welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph and I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So today we're starting our new series from 1980. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing my favorite 31 albums of 1980, which was a fairly big year for me. A lot of my favorite albums came out that year. I don't think it's the quintessential year for me, but it's one of the big ones. In advance, I apologize. I know last night's video was like audio and video weren't good at all. I'm still working on the setup, so it might take a few videos to get it. Excuse me. So, anyways, what this video is about is that I'm going to be doing my top 31 albums of 1980 for this month of October. I'm going to do them in reverse order, so the one that I like the most will come at the top and the last day, and then the ones I like the least will come at the beginning. And I chose an album today that's part of the what we would have called the new wave of rock and roll. Lots and lots of bands produced this kind of new wave sound that came out in the early 80s and late 70s. This particular band I like. Of the bands, I'm not a huge new wave person. There's maybe a half dozen of the bands that I kind of like a bit. Men at Work is the one that's most notable to me. But this is a pretty decent group of guys. Pretty strong. It's a power pop band, basically a new wave power pop band. Got some strong rhythms and really upbeat. I think pretty upbeat album. If you're looking to, and if you're feeling kind of down or anything like that, this album will pop you back up. The lyrics are a little bit darker. Tend to be a lot of social commentary and stuff, but they've surrounded it with this kind of upbeat theme, which is kind of different. Anyways, most of the songs are fairly similar in sound on this album, and of course we're talking about the Vapors' Nuclear Days, which is a bit of a pun on the word nuclear. They've called it Nuclear Days, but that's basically what it's about. They're kind of assault on the nuclear era. Okay, so most of the songs are pretty much like that. Very power poppy, solid beats. This group, though, unlike a lot of groups, the bass player is front and center here. He's a very dominant part of this group's sound, and he's a good bass player. For instrumentation, this is a pretty solid band. They're not guys who picked up their instruments the day before and started playing. These guys have had some talent. They've got some decent talent. Vocalist is he's good for what they're playing and stuff like that. I'm not sure. Overall, I wouldn't say he's that memorable, but he's pretty solid for the group. The album Nuclear Days, I remember when it came out. I actually almost bought it, but at the last minute I decided on a different album because in those days I had to choose, and I never did get this album, which is unfortunate because I think it's a pretty solid album. It's got a half a dozen tracks on here that I like quite a bit, and like I said, it's a very upbeat kind of album. You've got News at 10, which should have been a hit. This should have been a hit for them, but because the BBC was having labor strife and stuff like that, the album didn't get a chance to do the top of the pops back then, and the song didn't. And so it never really materialized into a hit, which is unfortunate because it's a pretty good track. Some of the other tracks on the album, like 60 second interval. Boy, I got tongue tied today. Waiting for the Weekend and Letters to Hero, spelled Hiro, Japanese hero. They were into that kind of subculture there. And of course, the big hit for them was Turning Japanese.
If you don't know any other songs by them, you'll know that one probably. It was a fairly large hit for them. But it, unlike a lot of groups who the hit sounds nothing like what's on the album, this very much epitomizes the album. It's exactly fits right in. You just play it right along, and it could fit right in there. It wouldn't stand out at all, except for this. It's a very good song. Yeah, I like this album. I wish I had a prop for it, but I've been looking for the album. It's not one that's easy to find because the band was fairly short-lived. They've since come back and are doing stuff now, but they were fairly short-lived, so and they didn't sell a ton of everything, so not as easy to find as you might think. I mean, I could buy it online, no problem, but I don't want to. When I say find, I mean find for the price I want to pay. That's the way I look at it. Some albums are worth more than others, and this one's probably a 2 or a 3, so pretty good for a band that I never really got into, but I like this album. There's a few bands like that from the new wave era that I like quite a bit. So there you have it. Turning Japanese, one of the fairly big pop hits of its time. The album Nuclear Days by the rock band Vapors. So I hope you like this video. This is the first of 31, and we'll be going forward with number 2 tomorrow. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe, and let me know what you think. And I'll continue to work on the video and audio in this. I know it's not perfect yet. It's going to take a bit. The setup's not complete, so there's a bit of a hollow effect, and then you also have the lighting, which I have to change, which I haven't gotten to. So when I do, hopefully it'll change a lot of what we're looking at here.